Something crazy happened. I just beat the 7-star Cinderace Tera Raid Solo with Ceruledge, and this is how it happened. Huge shout out to Austin, by the way. You'll get this later. First off, here are the stats and moveset I used on Ceruledge. My Ceruledge, who I'll be calling Asuna from now on, is Fire Tera with an Adamant nature, and has 252 EVs in HP and attack, and 4 EVs in defense. For the winning raid, I brought Taunt, Bulk Up, Bitter Blade, and Reflect as my moveset. I had Metronome as my equipped item. Believe it or not, who you get as your CPU partner is important in this raid, or at least I think it's important, because in the 6 raids that I did, 3 of the partners I had brought Pokemon that have the ability Intimidate. Intimidate lowers the enemy Pokemon's attack by 1 stage anytime it enters battle, and when the CPU gets KO'd, it doesn't affect your time at all, meaning every time the Intimidate Pokemon gets KO'd, that's another debuff for Cinderace, even when it's shielded. Here's a screenshot showing the Intimidate debuffs even though Cinderace used Bulk Up. The 3 CPUs that I encountered with Intimidate were Charlotte with a Staraptor, Kylie with a Paldean Tauros, and my boy Austin with an Arcanine. Austin, having an Arcanine, not only debuffed Cinderace's attack whenever it came back onto the field, but also got a lot of burns on Cinderace with Flamethrower. It also used Leer quite a bit, debuffing Cinderace's defense. Here's what I learned from the few times I did the raid. Cinderace will bulk up before anything starts, but won't bulk up again until 3 turns later after using Acrobatics. This means your first move should be Reflect to weaken Cinderace's attack moves at the beginning when they would be the strongest against you, and then you get a free bulk up next turn to raise your offense and defense by 1 stage. On your 3rd turn, use Taunt. This will stop Cinderace from being able to use bulk up for 3 turns. Now use bulk up 1 more time. You now have +2 attack and +2 defense. It's time to Bitter Blade your life away. You might be wondering why I have 16 Bitter Blade moves. I used 3 PP ups because I was not sure if I would run out, based on my prior raid attempts. I suggest you use at least 1 because I needed 11 Bitter Blades to win, and you only have 10 without PP ups. When the Bitter Blade did this much damage, I was confused, but then I remembered I equipped Asuna, my Ceruledge, with Metronome, which makes each attack stronger than the next if the same move is used over and over again. I thought doing this much damage would be a problem because Cinder was going to shield before I could get another Taunt off, but it really was not a problem, even after it bulked up and negated my bulk ups. I just kept using Bitter Blade because Metronome was keeping the move strong, and I was getting back to full health with each attack. If you don't believe me, just look how much damage this critical hit did to Cinderace without me having any buffs. There was no need for another Reflect, no more bulk ups, just Bitter Blade until Cinderace was defeated. This is how Asuna was able to take on Cinderace all by herself, and I spent so much time trying to hatch a shiny Charcadet for this raid, so I'm glad this actually worked. Hopefully this helps anyone that wants to try to solo Cinderace. I might have gotten a little lucky with that critical hit, and there may be better options, but there was still a lot of time left on the clock, and I feel like there is definitely room to optimize this strategy. If you like this video, then you'll really like this one, where I gave myself a challenge to catch all the shiny Scarlet Paradox Pokemon with some disastrous but rewarding results. And like I always say, I stayed up mad late making this. I am tired. Thank you so much for being here, and go get your Cinderace.